Well, hey everybody, it's Chuck. Welcome back to the Apiary in the Bee Lab. So I'm going to give a presentation today at the Della Robbia Garden Club here in Jacksonville. They invited me to come speak, and I try to do those type of events when I can. It is also part of the Master Beekeeper program to do some community service and public service points is what they call them, public service. And the public service points are different than mentorship points in the program. Public service points have to be given to non-beekeepers, whereas mentorship points are designated towards beekeepers, and they kind of separate those out. In any case, I figured I would go over there today and talk a little bit about Zone 9B and our pollinators and the life cycle of bees and answer any questions folks have. But one of the things I keep on hand, and I made it years ago, but I figured I hadn't showed it in a while, is an observation hive for these type of small events. You guys have seen my big observation hive inside the barn shed where I have the window pane style glass, pivoting on a door where the bees can come and go. But to have something on hand for presentations in a small form factor, maybe a fair or maybe a farmer's market or something you want to have bees, where kids can look at them. I've done this at garden stores before too. And this is the one I made. It's called an Ulster, U-L-S-T-E-R, Ulster. It's a single frame observation hive. And basically, this is the observation hive part, and this is just a standard 5-frame nuke. And the way it's designed, and I built this one, but I'm not going to give you plans here. Just Google Ulster hive plans or something like that. They're sold on the big box stores also if you want to buy one. Where this lid has this ventilation holes in the top, because ventilation, of course, is very important. And this little section here goes down in between two pieces of glass, or plexiglass if you wanted. And I've got these little black kind of curtains to keep the bees kind of calm when they're not being looked at, just kind of keep them nice and dark. But you see here, this is how it works. It's a glass observation hive that fits one frame. Can you see in the middle in there? I don't know if I do have a frame right here. If I were to take a frame, and let's just say this had bees in it, this goes down inside of the glass, and then this goes down on top and screws down securely. But then when the frame is in there, you can see the frame in there. Now the bottom has got a queen excluder on it. And that queen excluder keeps the queen up top if you wanted to have the queen up in the top of the box for observation, and maybe she'll start laying, or maybe your viewers want to see the queen walking around. That queen excluder keeps her up top if you find the queen. I think that's an important feature of it. What else can I tell you about this? So essentially you put the single frame with the queen on here. You've got the queen excluder, and this just sets on top of a 5-frame hive. And I've got screws that drill down into the side of the observation hive right here and right here that attaches this securely to this hive so no bees can get out, in addition to this top being secured securely so no bees can get out. And then they are in there. Now, you ought to put the rest of the bees in the bottom. And let me talk to you about this is kind of a custom 5-frame nuke I made for this. Obviously you have an entrance that's closed to ventilation mode only. You don't want it, be able to be opened. I have a disc on here, so I could use this as a regular hive or let them free fly if I wanted, but I've got this one permanently closed. And on the sides, I routed out some windows so you can also peek inside and see what's going on inside there. Here again are just some double bubble kind of to keep it nice and dark for the bees. But that's what it looks. It's just a normal 5-frame hive with 2 observation windows on the side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out to a 5-frame nuke that I've got in the hive that's doing good. I'm gonna put the bees in here, put all 4 frames of the bees in here, and if I find the queen, then I'll put the queen in the top section, and then I will secure the screws, and then this will be a portable Ulster hive to take to the garden club and to show at the club today or any other event. They'll be fine in here for a little while. If I wouldn't leave them in here all day, I wouldn't leave them in here overnight without some food or some other resources, because you are constraining them to the hive. So obviously a food frame would be really, really good. Too much brood and a lot of bees, they could get hot and things like that. Just some things to consider with constraining bees into a hive. So yeah, that's the Ulster hive I wanted to show you. So let's go out to the bee yard and let's load this up, and you can just kind of watch me do it, and we'll go from there. Stick with me. All right, everybody, here we are. We're out here in the bee yard. I've got this nuke here that I've got set up. I don't know if you watched the last video. This nuke was that swarm that I captured. I marked the queen, and I added a little bit of brood. So it's not a super strong hive. And I think this would be the best one for me to kind of not disturb. It's about the right size, not too strong. We'll just kind of see what kind of mood the bees are in this morning. I'm not really sure what to expect here, but we will see. So you see not a ton of bees, which is exactly what I want. I'm essentially after the queen in the top of that hive and a little bit of support bees just to kind of keep them occupied and, you know, going here. So let's see what we get right off the bat. Food frame, that's great. Not a lot of bees, but we got a food frame, so that's good. Let's set that in there. Now remember, you're not going to have all 5 frames in this bottom half, so there's going to be plenty of room. The queen needs to go on the top, so, you know, but to keep those windows on the side close, you might want the bees to be on the side. Oh, look at that, we've got a queen cell. Interesting. Can you see that queen cell on there? Let me come over and just show you. Interesting they're doing this. There's the queen cell right there in the middle. It's too late to raise a queen, but boy, would that be if the queen is in here, leaving that queen cell for the club to see would sure be fun. So I might set this one to kind of a side. That might be a great one to go on top, and maybe I'll place the queen on that frame. We'll see if we got other bees in here with queen cell, with eggs that maybe they made more queen cells. I don't know. All right, I don't see the queen on this side. Hopefully they didn't kill her. Not much on here though. Looking for eggs and things like that. Might have to go to another hive. Well, I don't need to go to another hive. Not having a queen isn't a deal breaker for an observation hive. Oh, I see the queen actually. So she's on this next frame. I'll show you guys. So yeah, there's the queen right here with a blue dot on her. They've got a queen cell going in another frame. So let's put this in the observation hive. I'm kind of tempted to put that queen cell. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's take the queen. Let's pick up the queen with our hands. Got her by her handles. Is this the one with the queen cell on it? Yes, this is the one with the queen cell on it. So we're going to set it in here. And then we're going to put the queen in here, and we'll close her up. It's not screwed down yet, so I need to kind of remember that. And now we can just put the rest of these bees in here so they can smell their queen. They'll be with her all day. No need to have these beetle traps on for the observation hive. I'll put them back. And another food frame. I might put a more interesting brood frame on the outside edge, just for them to look out through those windows. Just kind of put this food frame in the middle. Plenty of space. And then we'll put this right on top with the queen. And now we are ready to go to the garden club. All right, so stick with me. Oh, one last thing. Here, let's go ahead and secure this down. I've actually got this on backwards. I got little marks just so I'm aligned with my screw holes on the observation hive. So while I'm here, I can just take this, tighten the screws down. It will be secured. And that'll also help me get it to the truck so I won't accidentally, you know, drop it or anything like that. No need to tighten them down too much. Might want to get a little bit bigger screwdriver on there though. Need to have your screwdriver with you in case you need to modify it, tighten it, anything like that. All right, we are ready to go. That is an observation hive with the queen in the top. I can kind of peek in on her right here. Queen cell's not damaged, so that'll be great for them to see. Let's go, stick with me. All right, there's one last thing we gotta talk about before we wrap this up for the bee video. If you're gonna drive around with an observation hive with glass, you've gotta secure this. You gotta make sure it can't go anywhere. You don't want it tipping over. This Ulster hive, dropped you. This Ulster hive is obviously very top heavy. It will go over on its side. So whatever you do in your truck, in your car, or however you're transporting it, ensure you've got lateral tie downs so you don't end up breaking your glass, losing your bees, or anything like that. So that's just kind of the last point. Get your bees there safely. Do some method of tie down. I'll just finish this up after the video, make sure I do it right. But I just wanted to make that point. So there's the Ulster hive in the truck. Probably gonna end the bee video here, but we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.